Bulletcast for life.
Doggy Charles. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. The microphone messiah. Yeah. It's the microphone messiah. And Mr. No Days Off. Microphone messiah. Mr. No Days Off. Phil Brandon, what's good, y'all? Let's go. Bulletcast host. Look, this is the time for us to be great on podcasts. Let you know this is the time and how the vibe lasts. This is the feeling of time and when we on it. You know we got no time for no opponent, it's the feeling. This is the time of the greats on everything that we say. You know we about getting paid. Every opinion of wrestling. You know we got the truth in it. Every time you know that we on, this is the movement. You know the Bullet Pass podcast been on. You know the time we on, the feeling. This is the time of dealing. We living life of everything that we feel is moving right. West Coast, you know we moving on. Metaphor Messiah, microphone Messiah. You know the down to the wire. Mr. No Days Off. This is the feeling. Know what we dealing.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone Messiah, Phillip Brandon, joined by BT, Brandon Tangoon, the Canadian Destroyer. Another week, another Bullet Cast. What's going on, man?
What is up, everyone? Happy opening day to all that celebrate. You know, shout out Mr. X. I know it's a big deal over there in Cincinnati. Unfortunately, over here in Oakland, it's a little bittersweet, but...
Why?
Well, you know, some things may have happened in the past 365 days. You know, I don't want to get into it. You know, emotional trauma and everything like that. We're here to talk positivity and talk pro wrestling. If you want to hear me talk about, you know, baseball and stuff, go listen to the other podcast, Curveballs and Chair Shots.
My 84 Mets, Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah, who won the World Series, just hyped up on coke and you know, other amphetamines.
Brother, it was the 80s. Nobody was checking.
Exactly.
You can do anything you wanted. No social media. Really, up until like 2000, what? 3-ish? 4-ish? You can really do whatever you want.
Yep. Yeah. And then now in 2025, you know, now all those people, you know, all the chickens coming home to roost. Shout out Diddy.
Jeez. Oh, God. We can't be giving Diddy shout outs on the show. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's
I mean, not all shout outs are good shout outs. I'm just shouting him out as in, like, you know.
That's the moving on. The natural disasters are taking the rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame. Earthquake and Typhoon. They are going in. John Tenton and Fred Ottman are going in the Hall of Fame. Fred Ottman can go in for a number of things. I mean, natural disasters, tugboat, obviously, Shockmaster, but nonetheless, natural disasters going in. Great tag team back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, you could have done them individually, or you can put them both together. You know, well deserved, I would say. You know, they always do like putting a tag team in the Hall of Fame. So if you're gonna pick one, the Natural Disasters, they had their little run there. Was it late 80s or early 90s? I kind of get those like kind of eras confused a little bit, but
it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, so you know, they're big names. I'm sure we'll talk kind of individually of their careers a little bit. You know, we'll get Shockmaster and some other stuff, but yeah, you know, shout out those guys. Gonna be at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. Soraya's Hell in Boots is out now. It's her new book. She's been making the waves, has a new podcast out. And along with the new book is the announcement of her AEW departure. So what are your thoughts?
You know, it wasn't shocking that Saraya left AEW. She's kind of been MIA for a little bit now. And, you know, she came in, she had like a big pop. She had like a little bit, you know, she had that moment at Wembley, which was kind of a little forced just because, you know, she's the big star from England. It wasn't like she was garnering any momentum outside of that. But, I know she says she's keeping the door open for WWE. I don't know how much of a you know, clamoring there is for that. I think, you know, the bloom is a little bit off the rose with Paige Saraya compared to what it was a few years ago. But you know, she's newly single, so you know, knew her. Shout out Saraya.
Single again, huh?
Yep.
Who was she with this time?
Well, she's with, I forget exactly, Robbie Rock. I don't know. She It's some rock star who,
The
if you look into him, may not be the best a person, and so then she would defend him, which then in turn would make people not like her, and it's a whole thing. You
the
know,
last time I remember her being with somebody,
was Brad Maddox?
n- see that nobody was saying that.
Oh, I don't know.
The
I'm not really.
she was on Total.
I'm.
She was on Total Divas with that one rock star guy. Is that the same guy or is it a different guy?
I mean, it might be. He has well, I don't know if he had like the whole blacked out arm back then, but he's like a skinny white guy,
Yeah, that really sums it up.
and it really narrows it down when I'm talking about rock stars. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Soraya, I mean, I'm sure her book is gonna be very interesting. Go check that out. There's a story in there about how Drew McIntyre saved her at a very young age from a not so good person. So shout out to the Scottish psychopath. And then AW departure. I mean, what else was there really for her to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean her in ring work was kind of like her calling card a couple years ago, but now both injuries piling up and just kind of the evolution of women's wrestling has kind of passed her by a little bit. So I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know what else she could have done because you're not going to put her in the main events or in the top tier spots, and I think she's probably her contract probably wasn't worth her being a lower level women's wrestler.
Absolutely not. I mean, she was on top of the world a number of years ago. Gail Kim has apparently been released by TNA.
Yeah, this one came a little bit out of nowhere. Her and some other more behind the scenes people. Gail Kim, not really in front of the camera act anymore, but she's been utilized a lot from backstage purposes. I forget exactly what she was doing, but she seemed to be a very vital part of TNA, and this kind of was a cost cutting, um, whatever the case may be, organizational move from Impact's part. There's some rumors that maybe WWE is meddling in TNA business practices right now. So we all know WWE and Gail Kim don't exactly have the best relationship from back in the day,
I
but
don't think they're meddling
that
in
I know, but I'm
business,
just
right?
saying that it's out there. I just like to throw the things out there, but yeah, and people seem to not like this move. Like in terms of TNA wrestlers, especially the women, they people like Gail Kim. She's always seemed like a really nice person, and she seemed like she was doing stuff for the company, and then she just kind of gets let go like this. It once there's been a few moves I think from TNA recently where they release Scott D'Amore, and that hasn't exactly affected them business wise yet, but or at all, but we're releasing some people and getting rid of some people that behind the scenes acts that people want kept around that aren't anymore.
Yes, Gail Kim, a vital part of the TNA Women's or the Knockouts division behind the scenes. I think she was like kind of the head of that backstage. Not really sure, but Gail Kim, I'm sure she'll land on her feet. Maybe she'll go join Scott D'Amore and Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. She is a Canadian after all.
Yeah, and if AEW wants to scoop her up, I think she'd be a great act, or not act, but a great backstage
Assets.
asset.
Yes, there we go.
Hmm.
All right. Hope Gail Kim lands on her feet. Cain Velasquez has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for the attempted murder of his person that allegedly molested his son.
Yeah, this whole situation is just like crazy and just kind of sad all the way around. And it happened kind of in our backyard here in Santa Clara, but yeah, he did something wrong when he was trying to avenge something that allegedly happened to his kid. So, like, you understand where he's coming from, but at the end of the day, you can't, track somebody down and try to shoot him, and then he missed and shot somebody else. So, I mean, 5 years prison is no joke, and yeah, it's just,
I mean, I'm sure he'll be able to handle himself.
yeah, but it's just, a sad situation
Yeah.
for all parties involved.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully, that time flies by. Maybe he'll do like a year or two and then get out for good behavior. You never know.
Hmm.
All right, Dark Side of the Ring season 6 is happening. They're still going with this thing. Uh,
Yep.
yeah,
I was just gonna say they dropped an episode, whatever, Tuesday.
yeah. The episodes include Hell in a Cell, Mick Foley, Ludwig Borga, Big Van Vader, Tony Atlas, Superstar Billy Graham, Eddie Gilbert, Billy Jack Hayes, the original Sheik, Daphne, and the last episode is Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah, we keep saying like how many more episodes are they going to be able to pump out, but a lot of them do seem interesting.
When was the
A lot of them more kind of not like people that are dead or have done terrible things. More it's just like people who have a certain story to tell that might not be super flattering about the wrestling business in general. And I, recorded the Hell in a Cell one. I want to go watch that, even though maybe the Hell in a Cell, story is played out a little bit. Who knows? Maybe Mick Foley has something different that he can elaborate on, especially now that it's been, what, 27 years? Maybe he has a little more, 500-foot view now.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time you? I can't even remember the last time I watched Dark Side of the Ring. I can't even. It may have been season. Maybe I saw one episode of season 3 and that was it. Maybe it was season 2. Like I fell off.
Yeah, I mean, I record every episode, and then I kind of pick and choose either stories that I don't know about or
I
stories that intrigue me.
I think the last episode I watched was the New Jack one. So there, whatever season that was.
That was a long time ago. I mean, brother was still alive.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Um, you know how it is. You stop watching something one time and then you just fall off. That's how it is. Let's talk about the Ric Flair Act. Woo! In North Carolina. So there's been a bill filed in North Carolina, Senate on Monday that would mark a $500,000 study to create a Wrestling Hall of Fame museum in the state. It'd be a feasible creating a Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame museum in the state. They're calling it the Ric Flair Act. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's interesting, something I haven't heard of before. I mean, you just say Ric Flair acting like, oh boy, there's a lot of different ways this one can go.
What do you mean?
The a true pro wrestling Hall of Fame. We have Waterloo, Iowa, at the Cauliflower Alley Club. They have a Hall of Fame of sorts over there. Obviously, the Carolinas. If this is going to be like a specifically North Carolina NWA Jim Crockett Promotions type museum, that'd be a great act. I don't know taxpayer wise if it's the best thing to do for North Carolina, but strictly as a wrestling fan, I'm intrigued to see what would come of it.
And Flair's going to be there and he's going to cut the ribbon and then he's going to cut a 20-minute promo.
Yep. And say he's come after John Cena for 17.
Mothers, hide your daughters. I mean, if he's coming, it's really going to be like, what's it going to be like 23 technically?
Well, yeah. We'll talk about John Cena and Ric Flair a little later.
We will. Congrats to Samantha Irvin and Ricochet. They tied the knots out in Las Vegas, the pregame for Mania.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Ricochet and Samantha. Ricochet was on Dynamite via satellite, cut a promo saying that he was married, so it kind of broke the news there, and then photos and things sort of trickling out later in the night. So yeah, shout out the happy couple. Samantha, I know, dropped either an album or some music a couple weeks ago. So both of them are flourishing outside of WWE now.
Yeah. Yes. Doing big things. SmackDown and Punk, Roman, and Seth. They went at it, huh?
Yep. All three under the same roof. We get Roman coming out. I did enjoy they did the split screen in commercial break, and it was just Roman's entrance the entire time.
As it should be. My tribal chief. Your tribal chief.
Everyone's tribal chief. What is the... Can someone explain to me what the Y stands for?
Your tribal chief.
That's what it is? Okay. Yeah. I'm a little slow on that end. But yes, Seth didn't do too much. It was mainly, CM Punk, Roman, and Paul Heyman, and kind of fleshing out that dynamic of, that favor is still floating in the air. Is Roman or is Paul and CM Punk in cahoots? There's enough plausible deniability to go around.
Did you guys really watch Paul Heyman during this segment? He's out there with Roman. Roman's doing his shtick. He looks so happy. Seth comes out there. He kind of has this look on his face like, okay, here we go. And then Punk comes out there and he talks about, that favor's still out there. And Paul's like, what now? And then he thanks Paul for bringing his tribal chief on a silver platter. And then Roman has this look on his face. Roman and Paul Heyman are so good that they tell such a good story with just their facial expressions.
Yeah, I mean, they're some of the best to do. I mean, the Bloodline, the Roman Act has been some of the best stuff in the past 15, 20 years, if not more. So, and I wonder, Roman's not going to be here all that often. So I wonder if has he been announced for next week's this week's SmackDown or anything upcoming?
Yeah, they got a contract signing on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, they got the contract signing. So probably maybe the favor gets floated out there again. But yeah, It's a triple threat match, so I'm not the biggest fan of it. I wish it was just Roman and CM Punk. A little Dusty Rhodes came out there for a second for me, but yeah,
You wish it was just
I was
the voiceless and the tribal teeth
with
be
it
there.
just one on one.
Just one on one be there. But I mean, this can add another layer. I mean, there's so much more you can do because I mean, just the dynamic with all these guys. Last year, Seth Rollins was so consumed with getting the title off of Roman Reigns so he could better than save the company. Now he's so consumed with getting CM Punk out of not just the company but out of wrestling so he can save the business. Damn near. CM Punk, he's not thinking about Seth Rollins at all. He's trying to get to WrestleMania, and then he saved Roman at War Games, so he has that favor with Paul Heyman, and then Roman Reigns. I mean, we know about the history with Seth Rollins and everything, and Roman said Seth tried to kill him at the Royal Rumble, so he tried to kill him in the Garden, and then of course Roman with Punk, like, hey, you cost me an opportunity at WrestleMania. You screwed me at the Rumble, and Punk being like, well, I know you haven't been in one in a little while, but it's every man for himself. So there's just a lot going on here. We break into a Pier 6 brawl. Each man points at the sign. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah. Liv Morgan gets a win over Jade Cargill. This is Jade Cargill's first singles loss since 2023.
Yeah, I do wonder if that was strictly like the thing is just have Jade lose to kind of get the streak out of the way, so it's not a talking point at all. You don't box yourself into a corner. Uh, dumb distraction finish with Naomi getting involved, but Liv gets a little something out of it, I guess, if there's anything to gain from beating Jade right now. But
Bro, what are we doing with Liv Morgan at WrestleMania? I mean, she held this division on her back last year.
I mean, I'm probably some sort of tag. I don't even know who, because
Who would you do? I mean,
who's a tag? What's a tag team? What's a women's tag
technically
team?
there's Niven and Chelsea, but Chelsea's doing her own thing right now. And but
I mean, is Maxine and Natalia going to ever pay off? Or are they just going to talk in the background for every promo for the next 10 years?
Maxine's doing stuff on she's doing stuff on LFG. Natalia's promoting her book. It's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on right now. Ivy Nidal she's not doing that. What's Pure Fusion Collective? What's up with Shayna and Zoe?
They lost their leader. They got to regroup.
So I mean, they can
find another stud.
Okay.
What stud talent?
They can just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Jesus. Yeah, it's, like I said, Piper and Chelsea, they can't really. I mean, what about the Secret Service? Piper and Alba? No, they're both heels.
Secret Hervis.
So, can we talk about how different the two women's mid-card title reigns are?
I mean, neither one is doing much in terms of storyline, but one actually has a character.
If we talk about like Chelsea's doing something.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that just comes down more to the act because, like I said, they aren't doing much in terms of like storyline, but
Chelsea's doing a lot just off the character work.
Yeah, Chelsea is more of a character, and Lyra is more of a wrestler, and so if she's not going to be in any matches that matter,
I need Chelsea Green to win the Money in the Bank and become the world champion. I'm ready. I'm ready for her to cash in and become bring back the Divas title. I'm ready for all the heatness of it.
Yeah, and I wonder how much longer she can keep up being just a regular heel because people like her. I mean, we saw the things in NXT. People were doing the Pledge of Chelsea. I saw a video from I don't know, a hotel or something where just a friend came up to her and wanted to enlist, and she seemed very nice and everything. I mean, she's nice.
Wanting to enlist.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a male or female, but the child wanted to enlist, and she said, a couple years when you get bigger.
That's crazy. It's really taking off. Like, hey man, you love to see it. Randy Orton KO is official for WrestleMania. KO's like, man, what if we won the tag titles? And Orton's like, no, the voices are going off in my head again. I'm gonna kick your head off your shoulders at WrestleMania.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. We kind of saw this coming. Once again, no Sami Zayn in sight. So I wonder.
This is interesting, man. Sami, I mean, he played if you look at if we really look at like 37, he had his match with KO. 38 did the Johnny Knoxville stuff. 39 main evented, won the tag titles. 40 took the IC title off of Gunther, ended the longest reigning IC title run of all time. And now 41 probably going to sit out. or may come and maybe he costs KO the match.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he's like a run in this match, which is a little bit of a downgrade for Sammy, as you said, over these last few manias.
Look,
But
look at the look at the roster. I mean, are we finally going to get back to the times where not everybody gets on WrestleMania, even though it's 2 nights?
possibly, I mean, we're shaping up to have like a few mix or multi-team matches. Probably there'll be an IC match, a tag title match on SmackDown. Who knows what they're going to do with the Raw tag titles?
Where's the Viking War Raider experience?
I mean, they had their little mini feud with American Made, and then that's gone.
Oh, American Made. They I don't even know what's going on with that. Yeah, maybe. See, I mean, we have 2 sets of tag titles and they're not doing anything.
Almost like you shouldn't have, separated them in the first place. But too many titles.
I don't know. Maybe put them on A-Town Down Under. Maybe that would have did something. I don't know. We'll see. Strowman is the number one contender for the U.S. title. Jacob and Strowman were going at it. Then what you call it? Solo and Tama Tonga come out there and cost Jake. Jake's throwing stuff backstage like, "Hey, Oos, you better watch your back." Blah blah blah. So I think we're getting the title match the tomorrow on SmackDown. So a number of things could happen. Strowman could walk out the champ. I'm sure the new bloodline that isn't called the bloodline anymore will attack and cause some sort of multi-person match for the U.S. title of WrestleMania.
Yeah, that seems plausible. Just because they're clearly setting something up with Jacob and Solo.
Or we could just get Jacob and Solo at WrestleMania real quick.
Yeah, but then it's almost like at this point we're like 3 weeks away. Are we gonna have just like the blow up and then a match just right away like that? Do we have? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an intriguing little mid card thing for SmackDown, but because like Strowman and Jacob still isn't really done yet, so it's like does Strowman win the title and then it's him and Jacob at WrestleMania for the U.S. title, and we do the blow up later? Like, there's different ways they can go, but then LA Knight they probably want him on the card, so would it be a triple threat match? I don't know.
Just do. I heard this theory: Strowman, Knight, Solo, Jacob, Nakamura, 5-way ladder match for the U.S. title at WrestleMania.
I mean, if you're gonna if one of the matches are gonna be a ladder match, I feel like the IC title lends itself a little bit more just with the people involved.
I know what they got going on with that. I feel like I would like to see just straight up Penta and Braun 1-on-1 if they got to do something at WrestleMania, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Inside the ring, the benefit for Chris Bay happened in Vegas, FSW. You saw people from all companies. I mean, Ricochet was there, Karrion Kross, Alexander Hammerstone. Yeah, man. Chris Bay walked to the ring for this benefit. So good to see, brother. He's doing much better. If he can return to the ring, can't wait to see that. Chris Bay, like I said, anytime I've ever crossed paths with him, he's been a class act, genuine human being. So I'm glad he's doing much better.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a little more in the spotlight these past couple weeks with the Chris Van Vliet interview and
shout out
this benefit show for him. So yeah, I mean, it seems like he's doing better. Seems like he's in high spirits. So shout out Chris Bay.
Yes. Stephanie McCare retained both titles on NXT, defeating Jada Parker and Fallon Henley. Good work. So Mandy Rose has actually been in the spotlight again, not just for the content that she creates, but talking about how she was the double champion in NXT first, and just erasing the history.
Well, actually, she wasn't really a double champ because it was a unification match.
I mean, she had 2 titles at one time briefly. We have the photos out there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's done this before. I mean, she was like claiming Roxanne Perez or someone like stole her catchphrase when it was just like one of the most basic phrases there is out there.
What catchphrase was that?
What the hell did she say? I forget. It was like just something so
basic. How basic it is?
It was like something so basic that like a lot of people say, but then like Mandy, I gotta try to look it up.
Well, actually, her catchphrase was, Jesus. Oh man. Well, be that as it may, Stephanie McCare is out here just.
Oh, I got it.
Oh,
so it was Mandy Rose complaining when Tiffany Stratton said, "Put some respect on my name." That's what it was.
Well, is that Birdman?
Exactly. But
Put
apparently
some
Mandy Rose
respect on
created
my
that.
name. You heard me? Yeah. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Stephanie McCare and the two championships, and then your girl Mama Muscle is
Yeah,
is
yeah. I mean, I wonder what they're going to do with her at Stand and Deliver. Only a few weeks away. Julia did make a return at a house show last week, so
yeah, the NXT house shows look like they're picking up again.
so it's like rumors are that she dropped the title because of injuries, but then she came out and was doing something physical. So I don't know if maybe we get a rematch at Stand and Deliver, or she just does one match or two matches. But yeah, Stephanie Fakir is a fantastic talent to
What about
carry the
Mama?
NXT brand women's
What about
division.
Mama Muscle, bro? What about your girl?
I mean, she can do it as well. I mean, if she wants to take on Stephanie Fakir in a one-on-one match for either title, I am all for that.
Yes. Your girl's husband is going to be wrestling our champ. Alpha Zoe's going to be wrestling Jonathan Gresham.
Shout out. Also, shout out Wes, new manager over at Nike. Looks like Jonathan Gresham. He might be Jonathan Gresham. I don't know.
The Octopus.
Yep.
Is he jacked? Is he jacked to the gills like John Gresham?
I don't know if I'd say jacked, but he's definitely thick. Not like that, not like in a.
I don't even know. All right. Let's go.
He's got some girth to him.
Raw on
But
Netflix happened. Jesus Christ. John Cena's promo. He says he's going to ruin wrestling. He's going to be the last real champ. He will make you forget about the name Ric Flair. He's going to win that championship at WrestleMania, and then he's going to retire with it.
all I'm saying is he has clothes on, so I don't know how jacked he is underneath all those clothes, but he looks like he's a fit guy.
John Cena said he's going to retire with the WWE Championship. The only person that's ever actually retired with the championship is what, Trish Stratus?
So this promo I think was a lot more 50-50 hit or miss for me than last week was. Cena continues to go after the fans.
Hello.
And I did like the part of him talking about the title. Like that was probably by far the best aspect of the promo, but he continues to go after the fans when his match is against Cody. And it's like you could watch both these promos and
He doesn't care about Cody.
and that's the issue is you could look at these promos cut out when Cody comes out to respond, and you would have zero idea who John Cena is wrestling. And I think that's a little bit of an issue here. And like last week I asked, can we get the questions of why now and why against Cody? And also the Rock thing. And like I get it, the Rock is a whole bag of politics that you probably don't want to cross until he gets there. But there's a lot of these like questions still out there and these, plot holes that they're not even looking at.
Yeah, I think what John Cena's next appearance is next Monday, then that's the last one until WrestleMania.
I mean, but I don't know about until WrestleMania, but I know he's doing the Hungary thing, so this European tour kind of came at the right time. But that's what I'm saying. It's like there's so many things out there, and like we don't even talk about what happened at Elimination Chamber. It's just like he turned heel, and that's it. We don't talk about the Rock, the Soul thing.
I mean, we have multiple weeks. Maybe they're just waiting, or do we get an explanation after? Does
my dumbass bought $50 worth of these Tops Now cards, 5 of these things, and I didn't even get one single parallel. They're all the base cards. So if you want one, hit me up. I'll give you one.
Do you want? I may be able to get you a signature from the final boss. Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to do that?
Sure, because this would probably take it from like a $2 card to like a $50 card, or actually probably more because I don't know how many things Rock is signing these days.
Exactly. Hello. Yeah, man. I'm waiting on. I need at least one promo. I need one back and forth. I need John Cena to hit the fine speech. You know what I'm saying? Because when he hits that fine speech, he's about to obliterate somebody.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm not asking them to like recreate the wheel. It's like it seems so simple. It's like Cody, they hate me, but they love you. And you're just a recreation of me. You're the exact same thing I was. And yet they love you. Why do they love you so much?
You're like the 5th John Cena carbon copy, There's something like that.
Yeah. And then Cody says, like, because I'm real, because I actually care about what my values or whatever the case may be. Like they go back.
You're not real. You're walking around here in a suit.
Yeah. It's like I'm not asking them to like do anything special. Just give me like the basics. And they're not even doing that for some of these aspects.
Yeah. We'll see what's going on with that. CM Punk has a promo. He says that they're gonna have a contract signing on SmackDown. Talks about Seth Rollins. Talks about the Tribal Chief. Throws out that one up and just lets them know, like, hey, it's about to go down on SmackDown and at WrestleMania.
Yeah, another one of those kind of placeholder promos where only one party involved is there. Um, so, good stuff from Punk,
I
but
need I need a real back and forth between Punk and Roman. I need
yeah.
them to be out there for 10 minutes and just go at each other.
And this, that's another thing of like this whole three-way is between three faces. And so like obviously Seth is kind of number three and it's like Punk or Roman kind of choose your character. But like that's another reason why I think this triple threat probably isn't like the best because there's not like a clear defined person to cheer. And babyface, I think is fine if you have like two stars like Punk and Roman, but when you throw Seth in the mix, you kind of dilute it a little bit. And
Well, Roman, I mean, remember his tendencies really haven't changed, even though the crowd is cheering him. Punk, I mean, the technically the legacy act in this, but he's showing up. He's doing a lot more than most legends and part timers have done in quite some time. And then, I mean, everybody has their kind of their own theories for why they're doing this. Everybody believes they're right in their own mind, so it's a very interesting situation. And I think they're gonna pull off something beautiful at WrestleMania.
oh, I mean, I have no issues. I have no qualms that they're gonna have a good match at WrestleMania.
Qualms. Oh, that's one of my words. You've been around me for too long, huh?
What, 7 years now? 8 years now?
Some like when did we meet? Tom's class.
I mean, it's been. I mean, where are we now? We're in 2020, 2015, and
It was August of 2015.
I
Yeah,
mean, it might be 10 years. It's coming up on 10 years now because
I was just talking about that with Carlos last night. Max Mendoza, former BC podcast champ. Yeah, damn.
how's his career coming along?
He was sick for a little bit. Had like a little chest or side injury, but he's back and
Okay,
he's ready to get back to it. Yeah.
Is he gonna be? Is he a referee? Is he a wrestler? What's the end goal for Max Mendoza?
We use him in multiple roles. Either he drives the ring truck, or he's a backstage interviewer, or if we need a spare ref, he can do that.
Okay,
A man of many hats and many talents.
Because I was gonna say, there's definitely a spot for a Spanish speaking referee in the wrestling business, especially in California.
Yeah, especially if you're running out of taqueria.
Exactly.
They're doing another one of those next week. You coming?
Maybe. I mean, I've been wanting to go back to that place because I had the burrito, or no, I had I forget what I had, but it was very
How's
good.
the food? I haven't tried it.
It's very good. It has
Okay.
like it's a little bit of a wait, but obviously, there's a lot of people there, but it has like a nice smoky flavor to at least the
Was it
carne
too
asada.
greasy? I heard some complaints about it being greasy.
Well, I mean, I just had like a burrito, so
Okay.
it's hard to like gauge the grease in a burrito, but it was
Okay.
fine for me.
Oh, would El Pastor steak?
I always get carne asada.
Okay. Okay. I'm an El Pastor guy.
They got they got a
They got
bunch of
the-
different options. You can get fries, you can get nachos, you can get
I heard the fries were pretty greasy, so maybe that's the thing.
maybe.
Yeah. Did you try this blue horchata I keep hearing about?
I did not try the blue horchata, but if they're back in town next week, it might work. I don't know. I know I'm free this week. I don't know about next weekend, but we'll see.
Hey man, you never know. You never know. All right. So the Usos reunite day one ish. Us, come on now. They defeat A-Town Down Under. Yes, sir. They have and then Gunther comes out there. Jay, I'm pretty sure he slipped on purpose in fighting off Gunther. Then he gets it backstage, and Jimmy's hyping up his brother, like, nah, you main event Jay. You the one that became the right hand man. You the one that won the Royal Rumble. That Jay's gonna go out there and beat Gunther. Then Jimmy goes up to Gunther, says, hey, yo, you and me next week. And then he slaps the dog ish out of Gunther. What are your thoughts on the match? The Jay and Gunther pull apart, and then Jimmy slapping the no yeet off of Gunther's face.
I thought this was pretty good stuff here. I think the first act of Jay and Gunther kind of ran its course a little bit. And I was like, okay, maybe they peaked too early. I don't know if they're gonna have the umph to kind of have a real good main event of WrestleMania here. But now, whether last week was on purpose or not, I think they've played well into it of now him slipping for the second time and now really having that doubt creep in to if he can beat him or not. And even just like the slip up of Jay saying I'm 3-0 against Gunther if I lose this match when clearly he meant 0-3, and then the announcers pointed that out. So it's like they even when he does mess up on accident, it makes sense on purpose for the storyline. And then, like you said, Jimmy smacking the piss out of Gunther, and Gunther kind of selling it for a little bit, but then like smiling after the fact. I thought it was great.
And Gunther looked like he liked it. Like, oh, you want to hit me? I mean, he's that physical style. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
I wouldn't be shocked if he told Jimmy to like lay it in. We got to make this look good.
I mean, what? So the 31st, the 7th, and then the 14th. There are 3 more episodes of Raw until we get to to WrestleMania, and that go home episode is in Sacramento, bro.
I know. I mean, tickets. I haven't looked at tickets recently. I know they kind of go up and then they calm. They start to go down a little bit.
I don't know, man. I'll be in Sac on the 12th and the 13th for NWA. I don't know if I want to do that 3 days in a row.
I mean, usually the night before or the Raw before WrestleMania, there's really nothing of note. It's just a lot of, you know, repeating, and there's not going to be any big angles for the most part, except for like maybe a beatdown or something.
Pull apart.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if that's the episode where Jay finally, gets the better of Gunther.
I mean, he's been getting the better of Gunther.
Yeah, but I mean, like in this storyline right now, he's really much doubted himself. So maybe he
I feel
sells
like
next week and the week after, and then he finally gets it.
I feel like Gunther just needs to beat him down, and Jay's off for a week.
I mean, I was thinking they do that because they had so much time to kill, but maybe they did that one week where like he wasn't on the show, but then he just came out for like the dark match. Maybe, I don't know.
No, I think he came out anyway, like on television, and Jay's been making the rounds, obviously, being in this position, and he's been answering, the critics about like, oh, he only has a couple moves and blah 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 blah. But like, I mean, people don't know. People claim talk about the 5 moves to do him. That's really, break the fourth wall is really kind of all you need in this game, bro. If you look at any top guy in history, they didn't do a lot. And then with
everyone
Jay,
says Ric Flair and Bret Hart have the same matches all the time.
Legit, like you just place the stuff in different spots. That's how you do it. And then like with Jay, I mean, the connection with the audience, man. I mean, I went to that SmackDown in Sac, and then he was in a dark match with Drew McIntyre. And man, I'm just like, wow, this dude is over like Rover, confirmed. So yeah, man, I mean, that connection you have with the audience is the most important thing. Moves and everything is one thing, but connecting with that crowd and how you make them feel, taking them on that ride is the most important thing we do in this business. And Jay's got that on lock. Wherever you go, it doesn't matter if you're in Italy or Spain or Sacramento, Chicago, New York, Texas, etc. Everybody's eating, bro. So,
and then to play devil's advocate, I would say that then the bell rings, and then people aren't into him as much.
Yeah, well, I mean, people aren't professional wrestlers, so how can you really critique somebody's in-ring skills?
It's not critiquing the skills. It's more just the crowd isn't into him as much, is what I'm saying.
I mean, what do you want him to yeet the whole match? Is that how you're going to stay into it?
I mean, I think that's what the crowd wants. So he doesn't want him to yeet for 30 minutes and then.
Well, that WrestleMania entrance is about to be crazy, so get ready. He's about to be on top of Allegiant Stadium yeeting his ass off. Yeah. Dragon Lee gets unmasked by El Grande Americano, who hails from the Gulf of America.
I mean, the Gulf of America bit. As stupid as it is, I think it's so funny, especially because like on Twitter, like
as much heat as you're gonna get.
Yeah, like there's people on Twitter, which I don't know how much of that is a bit for them, where it's like they get offended, and I just think it's so funny.
How dare they do this? Oh, how dare they? Oh yeah, but what are your thoughts on El Grande Americano? Huh?
I mean, it's like the standard. Well, not standard because usually it's a babyface doing this, but the masked wrestler where you clearly know who it is, but there's no definitive proof of who. Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying it's Chad Gable. I mean, Big E says he knows every single square inch of Chad Gable's body, and that's Chad Gable.
That's crazy to say. I mean, but remember, Kathy Kelly interviewed Chad Gable, and then you saw the person being escorted out by the police, so it's not him.
Exactly. So,
but Kathy Kelly did put on the internet, you can't spell luchador without Chad.
Exactly.
Which I never thought about that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fun little mid card storyline of the under the mask thing, which is gonna get a kick out of people. As much as
They selling those things?
as much as we don't like, I think they do. I think they sold him as soon as he popped up a couple weeks ago. As much as we don't want him to get a paycheck, I would love for Mr. America to show up.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
I mean that's just pure nostalgia
The
for
guy that played the Patriot actually passed away, right?
yeah, unfortunately Del Wilkes R.I.P. But yeah,
Oh,
how old would I be? 8-year-old, 7-year-old Brandon would have got a kick out of Mr. America. Actually, no. How old would I be? I would have been 9.
All right.
I forget.
Okay. All right.
Math is hard.
I've heard enough. Bianca, Rhea, and Io get into they squabble up. Next week, Raw Women's or not Jesus, son, that's a different era. The Women's World Championship is on the line. Rhea and Io go at it. Bianca will be the special guest referee. Winner faces Bianca at WrestleMania.
Yeah, once again, where neither one of Bianca or Rhea look good in these segments, and then they're
Why is the crowd booing Bianca Belair?
well, according to the internet, it's because Europe is racist. That's what they say. That's what the internet tells me.
Jesus Christ.
But like Io is coming across the best out of all of this, and yet she's the third biggest star out of the three.
Hello.
And like I said with Punk and Roman, I feel like you could have just had Bianca and Rhea one-on-one, and if you wanted to turn Bianca heel, you could have, or not turn her heel. It doesn't matter. That was a ready-made like mega match for the women's division that could have made event in night one if you wanted it to.
I still feel like it's too soon.
I mean, at this point, I don't know how much they're going to cool off both of them by doing this.
We'll see. We shall see. The Judgment Day attacked Penta and Breaker during the IC title match. Dom hands the chair to Penta, wanting him to hit Braun Breaker, and that doesn't happen. And Judgment Day stands tall for once.
Yeah, good match, bad finish. I mean, we didn't really expect a real finish here, but we can always hope. And this does kind of set up the the multi-person whatever match at WrestleMania for the IC title.
All right, AW Omega Speedball and Ricochet had a promo.
Yep, Kenny Omega quickly dispatches of Blake Christian, which good. I didn't need like a 15-minute match between those two. And then
hey, yo, you put some respect on
I'm not disrespecting whatever is vanilla something. But we don't need Kenny Omega going, 10, 15 minutes with the guy no one really watches.
Hey,
Dynamite.
You stop that, man. The houses he works are packed, brother. Don't do that.
I mean, I was at a house he worked in Collision, and it was not packed.
I'm talking about the GCW stuff, brother.
Oh, okay, got it. But yeah, so the real crux of it was a 3-way promo with Kenny Omega, Speedball Mike Bailey, and then Ricochet via satellite. Awkward dynamic between Kenny and Speedball, which is kind of what you would expect between those two. It was, fun, a little heated, but nothing in terms of, Speedball going full heel on Kenny, and Ricochet kind of did his thing in his backyard. So it was fine. It was, a fun dynamic to see Omega and Speedball together, like I said, but after that, it was nothing real special. MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, or MJF calls out MVP, and it looked like MJF was going to take up on MVP's offer, but then Lashley said, tore up that business card and kicked MJF to the curb. MVP, going to probably do that multiple times, was like, look, I like MJF, why not? And then Bobby Lashley, kind of like being a babyface in the situation, was like, look, have you not seen what this guy's done in the past? And so I don't know if that sets up. They said they've been looking for a fourth member, so I don't know if that sets up Cedric Alexander or somebody else.
Cedric Alexander just had his Chris Van Vliet interview drop, so perfect timing.
So there you go. So I don't know if that's setting up Cedric Alexander to show up, or if they're gonna do a full blown feud with MJF and Lashley. Is MJF gonna get a partner? Who knows? Also, there was a promo between MJF, or what? I'm doing this again. MVP and Big Bill and Brian Keith, kind of, but mainly Big Bill. And MVP just absolutely torched Big Bill. I thought it was hilarious. What did he say? Oh, because Chris Jericho was trying to motivate them to do something, and so they came out to ask for the tag title shots, and MVP was like, what did he say? He was like, we're here to be contenders or something. And then MVP was like, we're still trying to look for contenders, or where are they? Because obviously insinuating that, hey, I completely butchered the line, but he just cut off Big Bill's legs in the promo.
Big Bill's legs have been cut ever since the end zone casting didn't work out.
So it looks like we're getting Big Bill and Brian Keith taking on the Hurt Syndicate somewhere down the line, probably a Dynasty. Moxley and Swerve had a promo. I thought this was good stuff. Swerve very intense. Moxley kind of puts over Swerve of, he's not one of those guys that I'm talking about in terms of, just trying to collect a paycheck and doing haha stuff, but he's not going to take the title from me. And then Swerve turning an old Dean Ambrose promo on John Cena back onto John Moxley, saying that I'm going to win the title and you can just go ahead and play John Moxley on TV. So once again, I didn't know that in the moment, but people pointing it out on Twitter that that's what that callback was. So that was fun. Main event, we had Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford taking on Thunder Tits, Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm. And Megan Bayne pins Toni Storm.
Really?
So obviously, putting some heat on her, giving her some momentum going into their match at Dynasty, which, if you didn't know, Dynasty is next Sunday. So stay tuned for episode 101 of Under the Radar, right? Or is this going to be 100? I forgot.
It's going to be episode 100, bro.
Oh, well, see. Shows how much I'm paying attention.
To your own show, that's crazy.
Exactly. Yep, episode 100 coming to you next Sunday or Monday.
Took you 6 years?
Or Wednesday. Well, we took a little bit of a hiatus.
I never took a hiatus. Hello.
Better man than I am. So that was Dynamite. More promo heavy compared to match heavy like it was last week. But the matches itself were fine. Nothing too crazy. What was it? Kyle Fletcher and Brody King was a good match. Brody King took a turnbuckle brainbuster, which was insane, just on a random Dynamite. But yep, good stuff.
That's
all the way
most
around.
insane thing you've seen on a random Dynamite.
But I mean, to a man that size. And we also had a Don Callis lookalike in the crowd, which was fun, especially when Don Callis was at ringside, so he was just mimicking him.
Not Don Callis. Callis family's still a thing, huh?
Yep, still think.
How long has that been going on
now? 2 years, 3 years. Well, if you date all the way back to the Kenny Omega title run, then
no, like 2021.
4 years, almost 4 years. Yep.
Has it paid off?
Well, no, I think it'd be over 4 years. I think it happened at the end of 2020.
And has it paid off?
Not really. I still think Don Callis should be a little more of a focal point in AEW in terms of main event heels taking on babyface challengers. But Tony Khan comes more from the ECW Attitude Era than the 80s manager era. But that is it for Dynamite, and that's pretty much it for the podcast.
It is, ladies and gentlemen. You know where to find us. Bulletcast on Twitter, the Bulletcast on IG, Bulletcast on YouTube. Email us, Bulletcast2 and the number 2 sweet SWET@gmail.com. All the platforms to listen to: YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, all the great platforms. We'll be back next week to talk some more pro wrestling. Thank you all very much. Be safe and stay dangerous.
Mr. No Days Off. It's the Bullet Cast. The microphone Messiah. Mr. No Days Off. It's the Bullet Cast. The microphone Messiah. Mr. No Days Off.